Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Conquer, the competition series of IIFT. Today we have with us Yash and Shivam Malhotra, who are the national runner-ups for Philips Think Up Challenge. So, hi guys, how are you? And what are you doing these days?
Hi, Katie. Well, I think to put it in a right way, we've sort of finally taken a break from these competitions. So relaxing in our time post the
Retire.
competitions have ended.
Retirement will be a retirement will be a better word. I personally am like on a sporting streak of 30 days. I'll be completing it tomorrow. So that's I'm focusing on sports and fitness for now. Yeah.
So can you tell me about the competition and how was it structured? A little bit about.
Okay, so I think Philips Think Up Challenge was a 3-round competition, wherein the initial round was open for a few set of colleges, and which required, I think, a one-slider PPT, which you had to give your solution, then the overall outline for, and then in the second round, which if you qualified, there was a semi-finals, and post which we had the finals for the same, for which again you had to submit a detailed presentation, which did not have a limit, so to say, in terms of the number of slides or the content that you can put in.
Yeah. Moreover, the case study of the case was a bit unique in itself. It was not a normal management or a strategy case, but this case required some use of, I would say, programming. I would say for Python, we had to give them a data based solution and output using not Excel, but using tools like Python. So on that, we did some analysis for them. Some cost prediction analysis had to be done for them. So yeah, that this particular case was unique in that sense.
Okay. Since not everybody in MBA is equipped with knowledge of Python and everything, so how did you guys cope up with that challenges?
I think a lot of it boils down to your team structure and how versatile you are with different skills. Me and Shivam were neither of us were experts with data analytics, but we did have another teammate who had a fair grip on the subject. So that's one thing. And also besides that, the competition was structured such that we had a lot of mentorship rounds.
Moreover, while deciding the team, you won't always have the opportunity to look at the case. The same was with us this time. We were lucky enough that we had that third teammate who was handy with those skills. Probably the best way to go about it, and Yash and I, Yash also mentioned it in the previous answer, that connect with people within the company. So they'll tell you that why is this case study or a problem given to you? What are the actual needs and requirements which is demanded out of that case study? So you cannot do everything by yourself because you are still an MBA student. There are so many experienced people sitting out there in the company who want a very specific problem. So instead of just figuring out yourself, like taking a shot, doing a trial and error method and taking a shot and leaving it to chance that whether our solution is even good or not, you should contact the people, and one person might not respond, second person might not respond, but it won't happen that you are contacting 10 people within the company and even nobody out of those 10 will positively respond to you. So we got to understand the core problems of the cases by the company people themselves. That is why I think the fundamental of the case was very clear, which might not have happened while like other people are participating. That is, I think, the differentiating factor.
As a team, you both guys have won some other competition as well. So in that aspect, I want to know that what you guys are seeing in a problem that other are missing, and how are you guys being so successful at it?
So whenever you see a case study, I would say not just see that case study in isolation. Okay? Try to think it from a company's perspective. So whenever you read a case, see what is happening in the company, what are the challenges they are facing. Probably the best way to go about it, and Yash also mentioned it in the previous answer, that connect with people within the company. So they'll tell you that why is this case study or a problem given to you? What are the actual needs and requirements which is demanded out of that case study? So you cannot do everything by yourself because you are still an MBA student. There are so many experienced people sitting out there in the company who want a very specific problem. So instead of just figuring out yourself, like taking a shot, doing a trial and error method and taking a shot and leaving it to chance that whether our solution is even good or not, you should contact the people, and one person might not respond, second person might not respond, but it won't happen that you are contacting 10 people within the company and even nobody out of those 10 will positively respond to you. So we we got to understand the core problems of the cases by the company people themselves. That is why I think the fundamental of the case was very clear, which might not have happened while like other people are participating. That is, I think, the differentiating factor. Yes, you can add on.
And with how we approach a particular case, I think more of it lies in identifying the problem. So what we do is initially we just take like a day or two, we sit with the case individually, and then we come back and then we discuss ki, acha, what did you understand? So I will say that, look at this line. I think they are trying to convey this by this particular sentence or something like that. And then Shivam will have his point that, I sort of pick this. So I think those collaborative efforts is when you decode, acha, this is the problem. Once you have that problem, you sort of get that verified by, actually contacting people from the industry. So if you have like a case, like this one was from a bit of an analytics case. So you go to somebody, maybe some alums from any company for that matter, or from the company preferably. You go to them and then you, ask them, this is what sort of thinking in lines of. And, sometimes it so happens that they verify that, you're thinking brilliant, you're going on the right track, or probably you're not. So I think those inputs really matter. And then ultimately, that's what the final hammer is. So that is what really helped us during our times with, cracking competitions.
Okay, that was a great answer. So here I have a question that now we have a lot of things to do in MBA, right? And it's always possible there are a lot of competitions, but you might not be getting it for the first few times. So what would you suggest for somebody who is feeling discouraged because of continuous losing in the competitions happening?
So I would say that it's not just necessary that you, like you said it yourself, that we have fun in a few competitions, but you don't know how many competitions did we participate in. If you see across the 2 years, we participated in, I would say, 20, 30 competitions, out of which we have been national finalists in 2, semi-finalists in 3, and 1 campus finalist. So it makes a total of 6. So the success rate is still very less, right? So it is continuous effort which you have to put in every competition. You like obviously in some, if the case is of your, I would say, if the case plays to your strength, you will better put in an extra mile and go an extra effort. But still, you have to put in consistent effort, competition after competition. You cannot just be bogged down, because if you want to win the competitions, you have to put in efforts. Because it is happening at a national level. It is not just a college thing, or it is not just a smaller pool of candidates which are participating.
I think I will add to this by saying that, what really worked for us is that we both were individuals who were like, we have the next competition. And, like you said, most people will get demotivated after a certain competition. I just put in a lot of effort, but it just did not happen. But what we don't realize is that is what is happening with pretty much every team on the campus, because it's just one team on the campus which would go ahead. So if you be like this, the rest of them, you will not stand out. So I think it's the mentality of, no matter what, let me just do it. Let me just do it for my own growth. Because I remember, towards the end of first year, me and Shivam just started doing this competition for our own self-growth. Ki kuch to seekh lenge. There's something that we will learn out of it. Like no matter what learnings that we get out of it, kuch to kar hi lenge. So that attitude is what I think kept us on going. And also I believe that, a lot of things went wrong for us as well in the first year, because nobody knows the secret sauce of winning the competition. So I think we sat down with each of our presentations, sometimes with our seniors who, cracked a few competitions, sometimes with some alum or some contact that we had, to understand where is it that we could probably improve. Because of course, even if we went till the semifinals, there was a reason that we did not end up in the finals. Or if we went to the finals, there was a reason that we did not end up as the winners. So once you start understanding those, pain points as to what was not there, PPT, or, what is it that you are doing consistently. So I think finding those repetitive iterations as to tum kya sahi kar rahe ho, tum kya sahi nahi kar rahe ho. I think that is what would actually give you an understanding ki kya karna chahiye. So that is when you arrive at that thing, acha, okay, so this is what we need to do to actually clear the first round, and this is what you need to do to actually clear the second round. This is what it takes to actually win the competition.
Okay, great. About the jury, in the question and answer round, what does the jury look for in your answers especially?
You have to understand that you will be presenting to people who are in the top echelons of the company, right? So they'll be, our PPT was being seen by business heads, by CEOs, by CXOs, by CMOs. So they'll be looking at your PPT and they know that this person will not be able to give an idea of their level, right? Of what they are demanding. So you have to show them the understanding of the business, because you have, see, the ultimate purpose of this entire competition thing is fun, maybe they can get something, a new idea out of it. Maybe, right? There's a big maybe here. The second thing is that they want to hire few people, right? And they want to hire the best. So how would you express that? Yes, I am the best candidate. I am the best team. We are the best team for the job. You have to give them a comprehensive business understanding of their own business. That okay, over the course of these 2 months I have been working on this case, I was able to get these many things. So they would be able to understand, okay यार इसने 1-2 महीने में इतना तो समझ लिया. I got an opportunity to eavesdrop in one of the judges' conversation in Tata Steelathon because I joined before time, right? And while I joined, the judges were evaluating previous teams' PPT, their presentation. So they were discussing among themselves that this team was very researched the case very comprehensively. They also knew about our XYZ business unit, which I cannot recall the name of, but they were talking in those terms. Like, okay, they were not only interested in the solution, but what they were interested in, okay, कि तुमने कितना research किया, how strong is your background research upon the company and their business vertical itself. So that also adds upon it, and that adds conviction to your answer as well. You can very well quote their own business strategy idea or something if you understand their business well, and you can speak with conviction, which is basically which every person or every judge is.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the truly sharing your experience and showing what level of conviction one should go into solving such competitions. Thank you.